Hello everyone, welcome to the MudRoom, our weekly free Uncommon Sense parenting class. How is everyone this week? It's May, it's my birthday and Mother's Day this weekend, so I am hoping to get extremely spoiled, although my actual celebration is going to have to wait since we are still in lockdown in Ontario. I love May. It's officially spring here in Canada, and I don't know, it just feels like a month of joy and fun. So I hope that you're excited for May too. Before we jump into our topic today, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Allana Robinson, and I'm a parenting coach for parents of toddlers, preschoolers, and kindergartners. I help you understand why your children are misbehaving and how to fix it without yelling, shaming, or timeouts. I am your host here on the MudRoom. I'm also the host of the Parenting Posse Facebook group, and I'm the creator of the Parentability program, where I help you raise well-behaved kids of your own. No matter where you're catching this class from, please like and subscribe so that you never miss another class. It also helps us reach more parents who need support. I encourage you to comment and ask questions as we go along. This class is pre-recorded, but I am here. I am available to answer your questions in the comments, and you can always follow up in the Parenting Posse as well. All right, so there has been a lot of talk throughout the pandemic about parents and playing with their kids. Parents are feeling guilty about the lack of playmates and being stuck at home and the fact that they have to work from home, so they power through, but it usually ends in tears because they aren't playing right. And all they can think about is their to-do list, all the work that they should be doing, all of the household chores, not to mention all of the vaccine news, politics, and social issues that are all coming to a head in the last year. If this is you, you can give me a guilty as charged in the comments, okay? You're not alone because I feel this too. So here's what you need to know about play. In order for it to have all of the brain-boosting, life-enhancing, social skills-creating goodness that everybody talks about, both parties need to be in a play state. What the fuck is a play state? You know, when you're doing something fun that you just deep down enjoy, and you get this kind of state of flow going on where time doesn't really exist. You know, you could keep doing this forever. You're not worried about your phone. You're not worried about your to-do list. You're totally in the moment and you're just genuinely happy and fulfilled. That's a play state. This is one of the reasons why short recess and a lack of outdoor time is such a hot topic in child development, because there's research that shows that it can take children up to an hour to settle into a play state. Which means that for a lot of kids who aren't given big chunks of free playtime, they're just starting to get the benefits of play and then they have to stop. And that's a whole other topic that I could rant on for quite a while. But for us, what's the implication of this? Well, if you're not in a play state, if playing with your children is a chore for you and you're basically a warm body that's trying, bless you, you're trying, but you're just bored off of your nut, you're not actually helping your child. You may actually be hindering them because it's really hard to get into that flowy play state when your partner is just not engaged. That's what they mean when they tell you that you're playing wrong. They know that you aren't on the same wavelength that they are. They can sense it. You're playing wrong because you're not playing. Dr. Stuart Brown, in his book, Play, How It Shapes the Brain, Opens the Imagination, and Invigorates the Soul, stresses that play is a state of mind. It's not an activity. And when we're in a play state, we attune with the people around us who are playing with us. We bond. We get on the same page. We sync up. That is the benefit of you playing with your child. Bonding, attunement, co-regulation. There's that back and forth happening. So if you're bored, disengaged, and just plain not into it, neither of you is getting the benefit of the play. You're not accomplishing what you think you are. You are not required to be your child's playmate. You're their parent. You're not their friend. You're not a clown. It is not your job to entertain your child. Does that mean that you can never play with them? No, of course not. absolutely play with them, but do it when it feels engaging and fun and purposeless. What it does mean is that you can let go of that little guilty asshole on your shoulder telling you that you really should put down the book and get up and play with them, or that you should stop loading the dishwasher and go over and insert yourself in their game. If your child is engaged in independent play and is in a play state, inserting yourself into that breaks the state and removes all of the good stuff. So sit down, read that Sophie Kinsella novel, and do it guilt-free. And if you're like, well, I want to play with them, I just don't want to play Legos or superheroes or Disney princesses, that's doable. Find something that you both find enjoyable and puts you both in a play state. For my boys and I, that's swimming. We get all in the pool and we have a grand old time, and before I know it, my husband is home from work and he's like, damn, how long have you guys been in here? We can spend all afternoon in the pool together, and that's fun for me and it's fun for them. That's playing with them. And that's great. We don't have to do it every day, and we don't have to do it all day. And I don't feel guilty one bit for telling them, no, really, like, I need to work right now. You need to go downstairs and entertain yourselves, because I know that once or twice a week we have a specific activity that we both enjoy that we can do together. For the last year, most of my play with my sons has actually been card games, because they're 4 and 7 now. They're able to engage in it, and they've been out of school for over a year at this point. And I have a company to run, and I have to educate them as well. So I can't always be playing with them. And quite frankly, they don't want me to play with them all the time. They like to play fight and build these little worlds out of Lego and dress up. And I don't find any of that fun. It's a drag. But I taught them to play Uno and War and Go Fish, and we all enjoy that. So that's been our winter play when we had to find something new because we didn't have access to public swimming pools over the winter like we usually do. We've been drilled on the idea that if we aren't engaging with our children 24/7, even if we're touched out, bored, frustrated, and overwhelmed, that they'll be stupid. That we've somehow landed into this place of being our children's entertainers. My mom didn't entertain me. Her mom sure as heck didn't entertain her. Somewhere in the last 30 years, we've gotten the idea that it's our job to be our children's playmates, and it's not helping us, and it's not helping them. And you know where this comes from? This comes from a study done in the 1960s by a woman named Marion Diamond, who showed that rats raised in what they called so-called enriched environments had larger, more complex, and thicker cortexes, which is where like most of the data processing takes place in our brain. And that study, even though I'm sure that you have never heard of it until right now, took hold in Western society and it spread like wildfire. And the idea that stimulating your child all the time was the best way to get them ahead in life took hold. But here's the thing. Diamond later explained that what she meant by enrichment was actually play. The rats were exposed to a wide variety of toys and they socialized with other rats. But because she, as a female scientist in the 60s, was getting ridiculed for being the girl who plays with rats, she changed her language to get her research taken more seriously. And that had an intense impact on how we raise our kids, especially now that the new science is showing how important self-regulation is. We don't have to be stimulating them all the time. They just have to have lots of opportunities for play, and that doesn't require us. Also, please stop saying that you need to work on their independent play. You don't. They do. This isn't your job. Playing is the work of childhood. What you need to do is give them the time and the space to do that work, to practice. And I think that that might actually be the hardest part of prioritizing independent play, is holding yourself back from doing something. This isn't something that we can do for them. The absence of doing something is really, really hard. It's okay if they get upset. It's okay if they get frustrated. Children who are used to being entertained are going to have an extinction burst. It's gonna happen, I promise you. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you were indispensable and that they're totally screwed because they have no independent play skills. It just means that the status quo has changed. Kids like consistency. It's frustrating and uncomfortable when the status quo changes. Acknowledge that, but don't let it derail you. So you can let go of the guilt. Put your focus on giving them the space to play independently and finding an activity that you can both engage in that puts you both in a play state. And schedule that into your week. You can do it on a timetable that works for you so that you also have time to work. Okay? That's it. It's not rocket science. You don't have to play with your kids unless you want to. If you are struggling to identify a common play interest with your kids, or you want some guidance on how to ease your children into independent play, there's a link in my bio for the Parenting Posse group. It's full of parents who are working on the same goals, and I invite you to come join us. So as I said, the link for that is in the description. As always, drop your comments in the your questions in the comments, and I will get back and answer them for you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week for another Uncommon Sense parenting class. Bye.